For my research project, I decided to go visit the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple. It is located in the West Los Angeles Sawtelle area and is run by the resident minister, Reverend Fumiaki Usugi. Unfortunately, I was not able to sit down and observe a service because their Sunday services for the month of July had been canceled in preparation for their annual Aubon Festival. Luckily, I was able to sit down briefly with Reverend Usugi and ask him a few questions regarding the temple and his life as a Buddhist. He sat down with me for just a few minutes as his schedule is very busy, and I was able to ask him about 5 questions. Also, Reverend Usugi was a little bit camera shy, so I was not able to film our conversation. Because of this, I will be going off of my notes. The first thing I asked Reverend Usugi was how long he had been practicing Buddhism. His initial reaction was why I was asking about him rather than the temple itself, as he felt that was much more important. Little did he know that was one of my later questions. He then let it be known that being a Buddhist and practicing Buddhism were 2 different things, just as one can claim to be a Christian without actually practicing Christianity. He told me that he had been born into religion, as both of his parents were both Buddhists. However, he'd only been practicing Buddhism for about 20 years himself. I then asked him what his favorite part of Buddhism was and what his favorite aspects were. He immediately responded with that there is no such thing. So I moved on to my next question. I asked him about the history of the temple. He told me that the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple has been around for 90 years and are part of a grander Buddhist organization that has been around even longer, 115 years to be exact. He told me that Buddhism became widely popular in America around the 60s, and that for this particular organization, their main focus was on serving immigrants. This is the Japanese Buddhist Temple and Buddhist organization, and the organization has 130 temples around the country. My next question was regarding Buddhist Christianity. I asked him if he knew who Bell Hooks was, and I asked his opinion on her referring to herself as a Buddhist Christian. He told me that he did not know who Bell Hooks was, but that there's no such thing as a Buddhist Christian, as one believes in the created entity and the other doesn't. Christians believe that we were created from God, while Buddhists, on the other hand, focus on being one with nature. Next, and lastly, I asked him what his typical day was as a Buddhist and as the minister of this temple. He responded with busy, 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 24/7. Whether he's conducting services or study classes, or organizing the festival, or taking calls, or responding to emails, it's always work 24/7. Even when he's on vacation, his mind is on the temple, as he's responsible for the whole entire thing. The temple has many events that happen throughout the year, whether it be bingo, Winapalooza, or their annual Aubon Festival, which happens to be this weekend if anyone wants to visit. The temple always has something going on, and so that always means work for Reverend Usugi. No matter what, he's always doing something. Overall, I did enjoy my visit to the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple. Reverend Usugi, though very busy, clearly, was extremely welcoming. Though I walked in somewhat last minute, he was able to sit down for me for just a few minutes of his time and answer a couple of my questions. I really appreciated that from him. I will definitely go back one day just to experience and hopefully sit through a service and visit their Japanese garden. Hopefully that one day is soon. This is my research project, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. For my research project, I decided to go visit the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple.